Boston 911.
I need EMS.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My friend is staying with me, and I just walked in, and she's laying on the bathroom floor, and I don't know what happened. I can't tell what happened.
In May 2022, the world of cycling and the public were shaken by a tragic story that later became known as the Love Triangle case. On May 11, 2022, in Austin, Texas, Anna Moriah Mo Wilson, a talented professional cyclist, was found shot to death. At the center of this scandal were three key figures: professional cyclist Anna Moriah Wilson, her alleged rival Caitlin Armstrong, and the man who connected their fates, Colin Strickland. The story of their relationships, the investigation, and the trial were filled with dramatic twists that captured the attention of not only the media, but also the general public. Caitlin Armstrong was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. From a young age, she stood out among her peers for her athletic achievements. At Stevenson High School in Livonia, she played volleyball and participated in track and field, which shaped her determination and discipline. After graduating from high school, she continued her education at Eastern Michigan University, where she earned her degree. In 2022, Caitlin moved to Austin, Texas, to start a new chapter in her life. She obtained a real estate license and worked as a yoga instructor, combining her professional career with her passion for a healthy lifestyle. It was in Austin that she met Colin Strickland, a professional cyclist, and began a romantic relationship with him. Their relationship was filled with passion and complexities, marked by frequent breakups and reconciliations. Caitlin sought stability, but Colin, absorbed in his cycling career, was often away. These fluctuating periods in their relationship fostered deep feelings of insecurity and jealousy in Caitlin. Caitlin's determination to achieve her goals was evident not only in her professional and athletic pursuits, but also in her personal life. She was committed to maintaining her relationship with Colin at any cost, which ultimately led to tragic consequences. Anna Moriah Wilson, known to her close ones as Mo, was born in Littleton, New Hampshire. From a young age, Mo stood out for her athletic talents and determination. Recognizing her potential, her parents actively supported her passion for sports. Even during her school years, she proved to be an exceptional athlete, participating in various track and field and swimming competitions. In school, Mo excelled not only as a talented athlete, but also as a successful student. Her perseverance and hard work led to high achievements both academically and athletically. These qualities helped her earn a scholarship to Dartmouth College, where she continued her sports and academic pursuits. At Dartmouth College, Mo discovered her passion for cycling. She began competing in local races and quickly gained recognition for her outstanding performances. Her determination and willingness to train hard made her one of the leading young cyclists in the country. Mo specialized in gravel races, which demanded not only physical endurance, but also strategic thinking. Beyond sports, Mo was known for her cheerful personality and openness. She made friends easily and was always ready to help others. Her social media was filled with photos from races and travels, where she shared her experiences and achievements with her many followers. In 2021, during a break in the relationship between Caitlin Armstrong and Colin Strickland, Mo started dating Colin. Their relationship was brief but left a significant impact. Colin and Mo remained in contact after their breakup, occasionally meeting for joint training sessions. These meetings became the catalyst for the tragic events leading to her murder. Anna Moriah Wilson was tragically killed on May 11, 2022. Her life, full of achievements and promise, was cut short suddenly and brutally. The memory of Mo lives on in the hearts of her friends, family, and all who knew her. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of combating jealousy and violence in relationships. In 2021, during a break in Caitlin and Colin's relationship, Mo and Colin began dating, which later became a catalyst for tragic events. The stories of these two women intertwine with Colin Strickland, ultimately leading to a dramatic conclusion.
Austin Police!
Do I stop?
What,
I don't know what happened. I just walked in on her.
Sit up.
Caitlin Armstrong and Colin Strickland were in a relationship that frequently broke off and then rekindled. Their connection was far from perfect, and during their breaks, Colin sought solace in other relationships. During one such break in 2021, Colin started dating Anna Moriah Wilson, marking the beginning of a love triangle. Colin and Mo Wilson hit it off immediately. Both were passionate about cycling and often spent time together, training and participating in races. Their relationship became known within the cycling community, which did not go unnoticed by Caitlin. Armstrong found out about these meetings when Colin and Mo began openly posting photos together and sharing their achievements on social media. When Colin and Caitlin got back together, he assured her that his relationship with Mo was just a fleeting romance. However, Caitlin's jealousy only intensified. She began to suspect that Colin was still in contact with Mo. These suspicions were confirmed when Caitlin discovered that Colin and Mo continued to text and occasionally met for joint training sessions. Caitlin became obsessed with uncovering every detail of their interactions. She tracked their activities through fitness apps like Strava to know exactly where and when they met. On one such day, she learned that Colin and Mo had spent the day together, which triggered a wave of rage in her. The couple's relationship grew even more strained after Caitlin found out about another meeting between Colin and Mo. This incident was the final straw, igniting intense jealousy and a determination to eliminate her rival. The situation escalated, and Caitlin felt she was losing control over her relationship and her future. On May 11, 2022, using the Strava app, Caitlin learned that Colin had picked up Mo for a joint training session and spent the day with her. In the evening, Caitlin, driving her Jeep Grand Cherokee, began circling the neighborhood where Mo was staying with friends. Caitlin saw Colin drop Mo off at home after dinner and then head to another part of town. Sometime later, around 8:37 p.m., Caitlin approached the house where Mo was. She took advantage of an opportunity to enter when the door was unlocked or used a copy of the key that Colin might have had. Once inside, Caitlin headed to the bathroom, where Mo was likely getting ready for the night. In the bathroom, filled with rage and desperation, Caitlin shot Mo several times with a 9mm handgun. 3 bullets pierced Mo's body, killing her instantly. Caitlin then quickly fled the crime scene, returning to her vehicle. Around 9:45 p.m., Mo's friend returned home and discovered her body in the bathroom, immediately calling the police. Law enforcement officers arrived quickly and began their investigation.
Austin Police!
Do I stop?
What?
I don't know what happened. I just walked in on her.
Sit up.
No. She doesn't live here.
What's her name?
Her name is Mariah. Mariah is her middle name. Her first name is Anna.
You said she's from San Francisco?
Well, she's from Vermont, but she's living in San Francisco.
And she came to visit you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's here for a bike race this weekend.
Do you know if she's talking to anyone or any friends? I know you say you don't freaking live here.
And then she was with my friend Colin.
Colin was Colin's last name.
Colin Strickland. I left to go have dinner with my friends, and then I came back. And this is my house.
That's your house.
This is my house. She's staying with me. Okay.
Did you see a gun or anything like that in there when you were
Why
in
is
there?
there a bullet casing on the floor?
Reviewing surveillance footage from cameras in the area, the police spotted Caitlin's vehicle circling the house for several hours before the murder. The next day, May 12, 2022, the police obtained a warrant to search the home of Caitlin and Colin. During the search, they found a handgun that was later identified as the murder weapon through shell casings found at the crime scene. However, due to a lack of direct evidence linking Caitlin to the murder, she was initially arrested on a minor theft charge. Realizing that the evidence against her was mounting, Caitlin understood that staying in Austin was becoming increasingly dangerous. Taking advantage of a quick opportunity to get cash, Caitlin decided to sell her Jeep Grand Cherokee. On May 13, 2022, she met with a buyer and sold her vehicle for $12,000 in cash. This step was crucial for her escape plan. The money provided her with the resources needed for an urgent departure and the start of a new life outside the U.S. Immediately after selling the vehicle, Caitlin began planning her next moves. She knew the police would be searching for her, so she needed to act quickly. Caitlin decided to head to Houston, where she hoped to blend in with the large population and find a way to leave the country. On May 14, 2022, using the cash, she bought a plane ticket to New York City, where her sister lived. In New York, Caitlin planned to use her family's help to further her escape. She avoided using credit cards or any other traceable methods that could lead to her being found. Upon arriving in New York, Caitlin met with her sister, who might not have been aware of her plans or the severity of the situation. Armstrong used her time in New York to think about her next move and prepare for fleeing the country. She knew that with each passing day, the net was closing in and time was working against her. This realization pushed Caitlin to take more radical measures to evade justice. Caitlin Armstrong flew to Costa Rica using fake documents under her sister's name. She settled in the small coastal village of Santa Teresa, a popular spot among tourists and expats. This location was ideal for blending in with the numerous visitors. To change her appearance and make identification more difficult, Caitlin spent $6,000 on plastic surgery to alter the shape of her nose. She also dyed her hair and used other methods to modify her look. After the surgery, her face was covered in bandages and her lips were swollen, which helped conceal her true identity for a while. Living in Santa Teresa, Caitlin adopted a new name, Ari, under which she introduced herself to locals and tourists. She found work as a yoga instructor, which allowed her to earn a living without arousing suspicion. Caitlin actively participated in the local community, frequented cafes and restaurants, and tried to behave like an ordinary resident of the peaceful resort town. However, her stay in Costa Rica did not go unnoticed. Locals began to suspect something was amiss when they noticed her strange behavior and frequent talks about the U.S. Additionally, her post-surgery appearance drew attention. During this time, American authorities were actively searching for her and had reached out to local law enforcement for assistance. Caitlin continued living in Santa Teresa, trying to adapt to her new life, but she knew she could be caught at any moment. Despite all her efforts to hide and start anew, she couldn't completely shake off the fear of being exposed. Since Caitlin Armstrong's arrival in Costa Rica, U.S. law enforcement had been actively working to locate her. Through international cooperation and tips from local residents who reported her suspicious behavior, the search was narrowed down to the small village of Santa Teresa.
Well, Caitlin, I know her as Ari. Don't really know Caitlin or the face I've seen on the Caitlin. Ari was a strange person, but I met her right outside the tattoo shop, Good Life Tattoos, and her friends were getting tattooed, so she was waiting out there on the bench, and I was out there having a beer in the lounge, and it became apparent to me that she was trying to have a conversation, trying to get to know me. So then I started talking to her more and more, and then we ended up sharing numbers, and we're gonna hang out later, and we ended up hanging out a bunch of times later. And we went on a couple dates. But she said that she had just been through a real traumatizing breakup and she hadn't healed from it yet and wasn't ready to get close at all. So we were just being friends. And she wanted to go out at different places. We went out to a bunch of different spots, but most of the time she wanted to kind of be a secluded spot. Not a lot of people. And I didn't put any of it together. You wouldn't imagine it, but after it all happened, went by, and you hear what she was really doing and running from, it made sense why she didn't want to be seen, why she wanted to go to real secluded places, and it all kind of made a little more sense. They were using the old pictures, and I was like, oh, I don't know her. But then afterwards, they did the updates of the pictures of when she had her face lift or face change, and I was like shocked. I was like, what? That's who I've been hanging out with this whole time. And yeah, it sucks for the family that lost their sister and daughter, and that's really not cool, and I feel for them. And I didn't get to meet her. The person I met was Irie, who is Katie.
American authorities reached out to local police for assistance in apprehending the fugitive. Numerous interviews were conducted with residents and business owners in the area. The locals, who had noticed her changes in appearance and unusual behavior, became key witnesses in the investigation. On July 23, local law enforcement, along with representatives from U.S. authorities, organized an operation to arrest Caitlin. They meticulously planned the arrest to minimize risks and prevent any possible escape. Police surrounded Don John's hostel, where Caitlin was living and working under the name Ari. When officers entered the building, Caitlin was in her room. They found her with a bandaged face and altered appearance from the plastic surgery, but she was still recognizable. The police presented her with an arrest warrant, and Caitlin did not resist.
Caitlin Armstrong was captured on June 29th by foreign officials in the Republic of Costa Rica, where she was detained on an immigration violation and deported back to the United States. Armstrong fled the Austin area days after being interviewed. Armstrong was detained by authorities at the Don Johns Hospital located in Santa Teresa Beach following a 43-day fugitive investigation. She dyed her hair brown, she cropped her hair shorter, and had a bandage on her nose where she claimed it was from a surfboard incident.
After her arrest, Caitlin was taken to the local police station for further processing and preparation for extradition to the U.S. The operation to apprehend her was the result of coordinated efforts between international law enforcement agencies and local residents, leading to the successful conclusion of the long search for Caitlin Armstrong. On October 11, 2023, Caitlin Armstrong was in a police convoy headed for a medical examination. Upon arrival at the medical facility, she seized the moment when her guards were distracted. Caitlin bolted and ran down the street. The guards pursued her, but she demonstrated impressive physical fitness. Acquired through her yoga and fitness training, she covered about a mile before attempting to scale a 20-foot fence. However, the maneuver was unsuccessful. Police caught up with her at the fence, and after a brief struggle, Caitlin was apprehended again. Her escape attempt caused a significant public stir, drawing attention to her case and prompting increased security measures during her continued detention. This incident underscored the seriousness of the situation and added drama to an already tense story. The police heightened their surveillance of Caitlin to prevent any further escape attempts. On October 29, 2023, the trial of Caitlin Armstrong began. The case attracted significant media and public attention. The court sessions were held at the Travis County Courthouse in Texas. At the first session, the defense attempted to argue that the evidence was insufficient to charge Caitlin with first-degree murder. The prosecution, however, presented an extensive array of evidence, including surveillance footage, witness testimonies, and ballistic reports. Throughout the trial, numerous witnesses were called to testify, including neighbors, friends of Mo Wilson, and ballistics experts. Caitlin's defense tried to discredit the witnesses' testimonies and argued that the prosecution had not provided enough proof of her guilt. One of the key moments in the trial was the testimony of the ballistics experts, who confirmed that the gun found in Caitlin's home was the murder weapon. Surveillance footage showing Caitlin's vehicle near Mo's house on the day of the murder was also presented. After several weeks of intense court hearings, where both sides presented their arguments and evidence, the jury retired to deliberate. This long-awaited decision captured the nation's attention. The jury, consisting of 12 members, spent several days discussing all the presented facts and evidence. They carefully reviewed the surveillance footage, ballistic reports, witness testimonies, and the defense's arguments. The deliberation was tense, as Caitlin Armstrong's fate depended on their verdict. On November 16, 2023, the jury returned to the courtroom, ready to deliver their verdict. The atmosphere in the room was tense, with journalists, the victim's family, and members of the public present. When the judge asked the jury foreman for the verdict, he announced that Caitlin Armstrong was found guilty of first-degree murder. The courtroom erupted with emotions. Anna Mariah Wilson's family couldn't hold back their tears, expressing their gratitude for the justice served. Caitlin remained calm, though her face showed a mix of despair and resignation. Her lawyers immediately announced their intention to appeal, but this did not change the current situation. The jury concluded that the presented evidence, surveillance footage, ballistic data, and witness testimonies clearly pointed to Caitlin Armstrong's guilt. This verdict marked a significant milestone in this complex and emotionally charged case, emphasizing the importance of justice and legality in the judicial system. The judge issued the sentence on November 20, 2023. Caitlin Armstrong was sentenced to 90 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. This sentence marked the conclusion of a high-profile case that captured the nation's attention. Caitlin was sent to the Dr. Lane Murray Unit Prison, where she will serve her sentence. The trial of Caitlin Armstrong left a profound impact on the public consciousness, serving as a reminder of how jealousy and obsession can lead to tragic consequences.
In accordance with the verdict that the jury has rendered, this court hereby sentences you to 90 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and a $10,000 fine as imposed by the jury.